Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we're going over how to do long division with a two-digit divisor. It's definitely a lot more work than a one-digit divisor, and we'll answer this one example here. Don't stress out, we'll make sure we take it nice and slow. And if this video helps you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our videos. Coming up on the math review. So here's the example we're going to be going over. 4,245 divided by 15. The number that's doing the dividing here is 15, our two-digit divisor. Before we can do anything, we need to make sure that we set up our long division notation. We'll put that over here. And remember, when we have it in standard division notation like this, the first number is the dividend. That's going to go inside this long division notation. And when we write it, we should make sure that we leave enough space between each of our digits to make sure our work is nice and neat. And this second number is our divisor. That is going to go outside the long division notation. And I also tell my students that it's a good idea to put lines to separate each digit. That way our work is neat and easy to read. And because we have a two-digit divisor, it's a good idea to have a separate work area in case we need to do some multiplication on the side. So now that we have everything set up, let's start our division. The first question we have to ask ourselves is, can 15 go into 4? Well, absolutely not. Since we know 15 can't go into 4, now what we're going to do is to try to go into 42. And how many times can 15 go into 42? Well, that's a little bit tricky because we have a two-digit divisor. What I like to do is start with a midpoint. And the good midpoint to use is 5. So we'll do 15 times 5 right here. 15 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So I'll bring down the 5 and carry the 2. And then I've got 5 times 1, which is 5, plus this 2 is 7. So 15 times 5 is 75. That's way higher than 42. So let's try something a little bit lower. Let's try 15 times 3. We've got 15 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. I'll bring down the 5. I'll carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus this 1 is 4. And that's still a little too high, just barely, because we need to be under 42. But this is 45. So what we should do is try 2 now. So let's do 15 times 2. 2 times 5 is 10. We'll bring down the 0 and carry the 1. And then we've got 2 times 1 is 2, plus this 1 is 3. That gives us 30. So we're going to put the number 2. Because we know 15 can go into 42 2 times, we'll put the 2 over here on top of the rightmost digit of the number we're dividing. So that'll go in this column, not this one, but the rightmost column of the number you're dividing. So let's put our 2 right here. And remember, 2 times 15 is 30. So we'll put 30 here. And now we'll subtract. And when we do that, we've got 2 minus 0 is 2. And 4 minus 3 is 1. And then the last thing we have to do is bring down our next digit to the right. So now, what we're going to have to try to divide isn't 12, but what we're going to divide now is the number 124. So how many times do you think 15 can go into 124? Well, we know 15 times 5 is 75, so we're definitely going to have to go higher than that to get around 124. Let's try 8. So we'll do 15 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. I'll bring down the 0 and I'll carry the 4. And 8 times 1 is 8, plus the 4 is 12. And perfect! 120 is just enough to get there without going over. So we now know that 15 can go into 124 8 times. So we're going to put our 8 right here. Because 8 times 15 is 120. We'll write our 120 here, and then we'll subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0, and 1 minus 1 is 0. And since that's in front of our digit here, we don't have to write it in. And the last thing we have to do is bring down the next digit to the right. So we'll bring down our 5. So now the number we're going to have to divide isn't 4, but 45. And the question is, how many times can 15 go into 45? Well, we're lucky. Because we have this work area on the side, we already know that 15 can go into 45 3 times. So we'll write 3 here, and we know 3 times 15 is 45. When we subtract that, we get a remainder of 0. And since our remainder is 0, and there's no more numbers to the right to bring down, we're officially done. And that means our final answer is 283. You could also say the quotient of 4,245 and 15 is 283.